Guys, like if you are working in the IT industry, so what is the main reason to work for that? Anyone can give me a quickly answer. So why you are working? So don't say now for the money or for the career. I'm just talking about the client. Okay. So will you able to answer for this question?
To reach the client requirement, business needs, so yeah, we are
Exactly.
working.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there is a business, there is a need we have to work, right? To fulfill this that particular need, we are working. Might be you are working as a informatica, and someone will be working as a middleware engineer, someone from storage, someone from backup, some other guy from networking. Okay, and again somebody from like SAP or Oracle or Java kind of thing. Okay, whatever the skill you are going to work, it should get fulfilled to the client requirements, right? So that particular client should have an application. It is running on some server. This is the basic need. Do you know this, right? Whatever the technology we are going to work, in the background there is a server, and that, I mean, if any one server, they have hosted their application. Got it?
Yes, Chandra.
Yeah, right. I just need this kind of sound, guys. So then I can understand like whether you are able to hear me or not. Okay. Shashikant, we just started in a minute back. Okay. So there is a business is running for the client. That is the reason we are working. Now, let's suppose in this, let's start from the very basic days. So from the very basic days, like I can say 19, like in 1985 somewhere, when the IT industry has been started, okay. So if you wanted to work with any one client, got it? If they wanted to run their business, they should have one server. They have to host their like in a website or any other application into the servers. So in olden days, we have only physical server. We don't have any virtual machines. There is no cloud. I'm talking about very basic days, guys. So that particular days, I have only one physical servers. I mean, I have only concept called on a physical servers, right? So if you want to run your applications, so you have to host that in your physical server, then it can be run. So why I'm mentioning only physical server? What is the difference for that? We'll see now. So what is physical server? Okay, if you have one physical server, okay, you can able to launch your application on top of it, but you'll not be able to run multiple application on it, right? Whatever the resource you have in your physical server, it might be 10 GB, it might be 100 GB, it might be 1 TB. You will be able to run only one application, right? You will not be able to run any other applications. We can compare with your uh, previous mobiles, okay? You can able to keep only one SIM card and you can able to run only, I mean, to handle the calls. There is no, I mean, you cannot install any other apps on it, right? So those kind of environment we have from the very beginning. So if you want me to talk in a very technically, like you are an IT company, so you have you got the client called an Ola Cabs, a Food Panda, or any other small clients. Okay, so if you want to support for them, you have to invest, or the client has to invest to buy a physical machine cost. Let's suppose there is a one physical machine cost, it will charge you for 50 lakhs or 10 lakhs, an example. Okay, the client has to invest this much money, right? Or whether you are going to provide the service to the client also, you will be charged for this 10 lakhs because you are completely utilizing this particular server to the Ola Cabs. This is your client, right? So that is what the very basic base requirement. And apart from that, you have to maintain for the database and other computing services like you need another storage, networking, backup. Okay, all other computing services also required. Then where you are going to keep all these equipments, that is called your data center, right? So if you have one physical server now and even you have a data center, you have been properly configured and you got a client also, you're running the business for the client. Now, can you able to give a guarantee to the client? You won't get any downtime for this application? Shiva or Kishore? Anyone?
We can guarantee, Chandra.
Okay, right. So you'll not be able to give a guarantee to the client to get the, to provide a service like without having any downtime. So if the client is asking, okay, I need a redundancy, will you able to provide a solution for this? If it is yes, then how will you provide it? So do you have any answer for this?
Uh, if you have any cloud technologies, right now we see all emerging cloud
Don't don't don't
technologies.
don't, don't compare with the present market. I'm just talking about
Oh, okay.
very basic days.
Okay, we can have multiple data centers. So if one location is down, we can go with another data center
Yes,
location.
exactly. So before that, what they did, so instead of going for multiple data centers, within a data center itself, they kept one more server as a redundancy, right? So I have only one data center, but I can keep multiple servers as a redundancy. So now this case, if my server A goes down, I have my server B, which will provide a service to the client. Got it? Issue? Shivam? I'm talking about I have my data center, only one data center. Within this, within this data
Hello.
center, yeah, within this data center, I have a,
Hello.
yes, Kishore, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. No, nothing from.
Right, okay. So, okay. So within a data center, I have two physical servers now. If my any one of the physical server went on offline, my another server it will provide a service to the client. Like it's a kind of
Yes.
redundancy setup. We have done it. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. So now, not only in the server side, we have to take care of from the all other devices like in storage and networking and even power sockets. Like where you are getting a power resource and each and everything you have to take care of it as a backup, right? So then you have been provided. Now, will you able to give a guarantee to the client? You won't get an offline by any chance or the 100% service guarantee. Will you able to give it now, Shiva?
Uh, no, Chandra, we can guarantee.
Yes. Okay. Still, we have been provided either one server or two servers or four servers as a redundancy, but still we have a gap here. We will not be able to provide a service to the client. We cannot give a guarantee to the client 100%. Right? The reason behind on it, okay, you have taken a backup like in a redundancy in your storage or servers or networking, all these things. But by any chance, if your data center has got affected, right, everything has gone. Got it? Might be your building has got collapsed due to the floods or any earthquake. If something happens like this, it's not, your entire business has collapsed. Got it? So the best example in India, we have seen the floods in last 2 years back, especially in Chennai, right? Let's suppose you have a client called Ola Cabs. You are running the business in entire India, right? But your data center is located in Chennai. So due to the floods, your data center has collapsed. So you'll not be able to get any service from your data center. Now, across the India, you have a cabs is ready. Okay, you have 1,000 cabs, for example. Now, will you, as an end user, can able to book a cab now? Yes, obviously, no, because your cabs are ready and even drivers are ready, everything is ready. But as an end user, can able to engage with the cab drivers or cab service using an Ola Cab app, right? That app is holding and it's running on the data center from Chennai. So whenever that particular server is not coming up, you will not be able to access those application as well. Got it?
Yes, Chandra.
Okay. This is the interlinked reasons we have in the background. Okay. So until unless your server is up and running, then only you'll be able to do your transactions. Might be you can say mobile banking. If you want to do transfer from one account to another account, you should have an internet in your mobile. That is one thing. Okay, you have to install the app, then you can do that. Maybe your device is having some problem, you will not be able to access internet banking from your mobile, then you can try with a different system. But the same problem it has been occurred in a data center and a server end, you will not be able to do that, right? And even in rural people also will say whenever they have been visited any ATMs, they can say easily server is down, but they are not aware of it, where that particular server has hosted, right? They don't know any other technology as well, but it has been clearly mentioned the server has went offline. Okay, so until unless your server is up and running, there is no business is running in the world. Do you understand this point now?
Yes, Chandra.
Got it? So as I just explained, for the Chennai region, for the floods kind of thing, so we have to keep one more data center as a redundancy. Within a data center, we had a discussion as of now. We can keep 2 servers or 4 servers or 8 servers as a redundancy to support one application. But during this floods or earthquakes, anything has got affected, we should have backup. Okay, for a different site. That is called disaster recovery data centers. Okay, so again, how you have been built your primary data center, similar way you have to set up your secondary data center as well. So whatever the things you have set up in your primary data center, same thing should be presented in your secondary data center. First, suppose to set up your primary data center, you have been invested in 100 crores. You have to invest again 100 crores for the different data center. When you are going to set up this kind of data center, okay, you should have different, like exact opposite nature for the weather and everything. Okay, then only you can be able to build. You can be able to build. Then these two data centers is interconnected. By any chance your primary data center went offline, your your secondary data center should work. It will be providing a service. But as an end user, like in a client, like an end user, when they are going to access something, they will not be able to understand from where they is getting the ID. Okay. Now,
Yes, Chandra.
understand this, right? For the physical servers concept. Then after that, even virtualization has been entered in the market. Okay. So okay. So using virtualization, what you can do? For example, you have a physical server earlier. You have to completely assign all these resources, whatever you have in your physical server, to that one application. For example, here we can take an example for food panda kind of thing. Okay, so here you have an 100 GB storage or 8 GB RAM kind of thing. That is completely you have to assign to run only one application in a physical servers. But after that, the technology has grown. They have been introduced technology called virtualization. Using virtualization, what you can do, you can be able to split your physical server into multiple servers. Got it? So you can design, you can divided your physical server into multiple virtual servers. It means using your resources, whatever you have in your physical server, you can be able to launch multiple additional servers within your physical server. Got it? So now it will work for one client, and this it will work for one client. Got it? So like this, here you can run a number of clients here. For example, this is for Ola. Okay, and here you can run for a different application. Got it? You understand this, Kishore and Shiva?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, Chandra.
Yeah, the best example is in your laptop. Earlier, you will not be able to access anything in your laptop, right? Like you will be able to just install and you can use Windows. But right now, you can install in your laptop itself any SAP server for the practice, or you can install any Linux machine in your machine, Linux machine in your laptop, right? Got it? So to do this job, okay, you have some limitations. Someone will create 2 Linux machines in your physical server. Someone will be able to create enough 4. Someone will be able to create only 1. But the problem is, I mean, what are the challenges here we have? Based on your physical machine capacity, they can be able to launch many servers, right? Whenever you have an only 2 GB RAM, you can be able to launch only 1 Linux machine, right? Whether you have a 4 GB RAM or 8 GB RAM, you can launch a number of. That's based on the requirement. Okay. So now, let's suppose here virtual machine, server, each and everything is common, guys. Okay. So people will call virtual machine is equal to virtual machine, VM, and everything is your virtual machine. Like within a physical server, we have created number of virtual machines that is called a VM, right? So like this, we have done it. Now, why people is thinking about still in a cloud and all? So what are the advantages we have in a virtualization here? If you want to support 2 clients earlier, you should have 2 physical servers, right? Now it doesn't require. For example, you have a Food Panda and Ola cabs earlier. What do you have to do? You have to set up 2 physical servers. Now instead of that, here we can create 2 virtual machines within 1 physical server. You will be able to support these 2 clients, and as well as you can launch. I mean, you can support for another clients as well. So while doing this activity, I mean this kind of setup, what are the advantages we have? You can reduce your expenses into the drastically. Okay, if you have 100 servers, if you have 100 clients, you have to buy 100 physical servers. Just assume it, each and every server is in 10 lakhs. What could be the 100 machines cost? So instead of that, if you have one physical server, you can be able to launch 100 virtual machines within your physical server. So straight away you are going to save lots of money on a physical machine cost, and as well as regular maintenance. Where you are going to keep 100 physical servers, how much bigger building you require? So instead of that, if you can able to accommodate all 100 servers in one physical server, it's required in one simple rack. You can do that. Got it? It's a kind of where you are going to keep your shoes. Like that much rack also, you can able to run 100 servers, and you can easily maintain. Okay, so you can save lots of cost here. That is the reason virtualization has got more popular, right? So now, why this many challenges we have? So nowadays we have already having in a virtualization, but still people is thinking about a more advantages, or still they are looking for the better solutions. It means still they have some problems on it, right? Wherever you have some problem, then only you look for the advantage. I mean, like a new technologies, or else you can look for the better solution with lesser time or less cost. Okay, maybe the cost is high. I can get in a better solution. It does not mean we are not going to complain with earlier technologies, but what are the challenges we have in a previous that we are going to overcome, right? So now we'll see what are the challenges we have in a physical IT infrastructure. The same image you can take. Okay, here I can able to launch 100 virtual machines within a physical server. Now I have already launched 100 machines. Just an example. Okay, after that I got a request from my application team, right, to launch one more server. So now maybe Kishore can able to answer this. So how will you proceed further from here? I have one physical server. I have already launched 100 machines. So I have made my maximum limit. So now I have to launch one more server. Go ahead, Kishore.
Sorry, can you?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you now.
Can you? Yeah, can you tell me once again?
Yeah. So if you're not able to hear me now, just let me know. Okay. Yes.
Sure. Okay.
I have one physical server. I have already working with a virtualization technology. Using that, I can
Okay.
able to launch 100 virtual machines within my physical server. So I have already launched 100 machines, right?
Yeah.
So I meet
Yes.
my requirement as of now. But I got a requirement from the
Okay.
application team. I have to launch one more server.
Yeah.
So how I am going to achieve this?
Launch means so already we achieved means we raise a ticket to client to we need to configure another physical server
Right.
because it's already reached 100. If we create another virtual machine, so surely we got some hunger.
Right. So
It will impact.
what you
Yes.
mean to say? So you don't have any free resources within your physical server. If you want to
Yes.
build
Yeah.
one more virtual machine, it's required at least
Virtual machine.
like a CPU or memory kind of thing. So we don't have an existing
Yes.
physical server. For that, we have to request to arrange
Another
one more physical server from the client.
physical server. Yes.
So for that, maybe the
Yes.
process will be differ from client to client. So client has to
Hmm.
arrange one more physical server for you. So let's suppose it will cost you for 10 lakhs, right? So they have ordered the mission.
Yes.
So will you able to get that mission immediately?
No. No.
Okay. No. Why you are thinking? For example, if you order a mobile in online nowadays, will you able to
Yes.
get that within 10 minutes from your hand?
No. Okay.
No, right? At least it will take minimum
Yes.
1 or 2 days to get in a
One,
mobile.
1 or 2 days.
Minimum
Yes.
as a mobile. Okay.
Yes.
When you are
Yes.
talking about in the servers, definitely it will take more time. Okay. Compared to
Yes.
mobile, we have
Yes.
an 100 crores, 120 crores population in India. Okay. They can
Yes.
achieve, okay, anyone can buy. But that is a
Yes.
price also is a 10,000, 15,000, max to max and 50,000. Not more than that. When
Hmm.
you're talking about in the physical servers, who is their end clients? Are only organizations. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
the count is going to be in 120 crores to maybe in a 20 crores companies we have. It's an example.
Hmm.
Okay. In these 20 crores companies, they might have already have a servers. Who is getting a new requirement? They are only required as servers. So they won't develop, they won't build this, I mean, like servers like mobiles. Okay. So that based on the order you will get, maybe it will take some time. At least we can say minimum 2 3 days minimum. For example, a week time,
Yes.
right? So once you
Yes. Yes.
order in a physical server, let's take it as at least in 3 4 days. So now we got in a server
Yes.
after 4 days. Okay. Will you able to configure immediately for that?
No.
Okay.
It will take.
Yeah, the data center team, it won't allow you to enter in the data center. Not only you, by
Yes.
any one of the engineer, right? So
Hmm.
they have some formalities, they will follow the same process. The technical
Yes.
person to visit from the vendor, whether you are going to
Yes.
ask in a SP mission or IBM mission, so they have to come and they have to keep all these things. And you have to raise
Yes.
the request to your network team so that they will configure the networking, I mean network on that particular new physical server,
Physical server.
right?
Yep.
Once you're done, you have to
Yes.
cross check with your backup team or storage team or OS team to do their job, right?
Yes.
So if you're an OS engineer, so once everybody has done, then you have to install the operating system on it, and you have to install some other packages as per your application team requirement. Then you will inform to the
Yes.
application team. So to do this,
Application type.
yeah, to do all these jobs, can you take at least a week time to
Yes.
set up all
Sure.
these things, right? So it's
Yes.
required in a week time, and as well as the client has to bear all this cost, all these teams cost, right?
Yes.
If it is in a very big
Yes.
client, they have to keep people into different teams, right? For example, earlier
Yes.
I used to work for Wipro. Okay, so for example,
Hmm.
we have a client called a Citibank or Lloyd's Bank in very big clients in Wipro. Got it? So that particular time, in a year, they might need 3,000 or 4,000 servers to be newly built, right? So that particular time, what they will do, they will keep in a separate team only for the to build the servers. Even
Servers.
IBM also will have a concept, server build thing.
Yes.
Okay, they won't
Yes.
they won't handle the regular tickets like in issues. They will build only the servers. That's what their job.
Servers.
And regular
Yes.
operations, they have to keep one more team, right? Your
Hmm.
regular operations team only will help you to serve your business, but your build team will help you to build the new servers. But the client has to bear
Yes.
all the cost, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
what I mean to say, to buy a physical servers, to do the things to be set up, to manage, each and everything client has to invest the money, right? So after a week, everything has been ready. Then as a OS engineer, you have informed your application team your server has been ready, right? Now let's suppose Kishore, I mean like Siva from application team, he did something for the testing kind of thing. Within 2-3 days, he came back. Okay, we are done our testing. We don't require this server anymore. Okay, did you got my point
Okay.
now? Shiva,
Yes, I
any
got it.
followers?
Yes, Chandra.
Okay, are you able to follow me,
Yeah,
right?
I can hear you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
now,
yeah, I can
now,
follow you. Yeah.
now we have like waited at least a week time to get a new physical server, and client has also invested some money on it, and we have been interacting with multiple teams to do setup. And as an application guy, you have been confirmed within 2-3 days. We don't require this server. So what is the solution now? So how we can proceed for this? Sure. Maybe technically you can raise a change to decommission this server,
Yeah, decommission
right?
that. Yes,
It's very simple for
yes.
you, simple task for you, but the client will get
But
surprised.
client.
Okay,
Yes, yes, sure.
why this is only for 2 days requirement? How much money have been invested? How many days we have been wasted, and how many teams we have been involved in this activity, right? So what about this cost now, right? So everything is gone now, got it? So here the client has to invest so much of money, and whenever they don't require this kind of resources, they will not be able to do. I mean, they will not be utilized for any other thing, and again, they will not be able to sell these devices to any other clients. Got it?
I got it.
Now you don't have any one virtual machine requirement, but you are keeping one physical server ideally with you.
Yes.
Okay, and you have to make that should be in a power on, so you have to pay the regular maintenance cost, and where you are going to keep the server, it should have a space. For that also you have to pay the money, right? So, and if you are configured as a disaster recovery setup, ideally not only one server, you have to keep two servers, right? In your disaster recovery data center also, so you have a similar setup like your primary data center. If you set up a new physical server in your new primary data center, you have to set up same thing in your secondary data center. Got it? So as of now, whatever
Got
the
it.
cost you did it, it should be in a double, right? So these kind of charges, I mean challenges we have. So each and everything you have to buy and you have to build in a consolidated multiple data centers, okay, and the count and expand the capacity. Whenever you want to expand the capacity, which won't possible, then you have to do it, and power per cabinet. Okay, so these are the things we have. So it's taking more time. So let me come to the point actually. So to overcome all these challenges, like in a physical virtualization, whatever we have as of now, we are talking about nowadays in the cloud. Okay. So both of you guys, did you aware of any cloud technology as of now, or have you used any cloud as of now in your organizations or your personal case?
Using IBM
Uh,
software.
no, Chandra, not as of now.
Okay. Uh, Not as of now. I won't accept. You might have used in a different cloud. So let me tell you that. So have you used in the Gmail, right?
Yes, yes,
Obviously,
Chandra.
obviously you have
Yeah,
been used, right? So Gmail is the
yeah.
service, but Gmail is not the cloud service earlier. Now they are also into the market, but earlier there is no Google Cloud. We call only Gmail, right? Why it's become a cloud earlier? Okay, as a cloud service provider, they have to provide a service with multiple clients. Okay, and it should have an okay, we'll see the definition first. So cloud computing is a style of computing where massively scalable IT related capabilities are provided as a service across the internet to multiple external customers. So why have you chosen a Gmail? If you want, you can create a number of Gmail IDs for you. It means anyone can able to create a Gmail ID, and each and every person will get a 15 GB of storage to store the data. Have you identified that? Okay, you can create your
Yes, yes.
Gmail, but you can store up to 15 GB of data. But have you tried
Right.
have you tried any point of time to identify what is the Gmail IP address or which kind of operating system they are running? And even you are
Mm,
aware of it, you will be able to store 15 GB data. Have you tried which kind of storage they are using?
no, Chandra.
Have you thought like this by any chance?
Yeah.
Okay, did you got this thought? Okay, so I wanted to understand what kind of storage they are using. Have you Google it for that? And did you know like where they are running their data centers? No, right?
No,
We
no,
didn't we
Chandra.
didn't try, even we didn't think in this way. Why? Because we are getting a service frequently. We are not getting any errors. We are not getting any issues over there. First thing, right? Whenever you type Gmail, it will work, and whenever you want to upload, it can be uploaded, and it's clearly mentioned you can only upload only 15 GB data, right? Then your job is done. Then you don't need to worry about what kind of storage they are using, what kind of database they are running, right? What kind of OS they are running, where they are kept their data centers. We don't need to worry about all these things. Got it? Now, similar kind of solution the client has to develop. That is what the cloud computing service thought it came to the picture. So coming to the cloud computing, so there, if you want to become a cloud service provider, you have to provide at least minimum 5 to 6 services. So earlier Gmail is going to provide a storage option or mail service, but it is not count as a cloud service provider. Why? Because they are providing only 2 options. So as a cloud service provider, you have to at least provide 6 services, then only you will become a cloud service provider. The first thing, foremost and first thing, pay as you go model. You should not ask your end users to use any service. First make an agreement and then pay the money, then use it. Not like that. Okay. Whatever the end user want. If you want to build a server, do it. If you want to create a value, yes, you can create it. Okay. If you need a 1 GB, 1 TB, 10 TB, create it and use it, then pay the money later. Okay. As a pay as you go model. And on demand. Whenever you want, you can do it. And self-service. For example, if you need a 10 GB storage in earlier case, you have to raise a request, and that request reach to storage heap. Okay. In meantime, we have to raise a change, and it should have some meetings, and it should get an approved. Okay. All these things we have to do. It takes a lot of time. Then only you will get a storage, even if it is in a 5 GB or 10 GB also. So instead of all these things, unlimited storage has to provide in the cloud service provider from the cloud service provider. Okay, so and again on demand, whenever you want you can get it, and self-service. Okay, and money pay as you go model. So you don't need to pay the money first, you can pay the money later. You don't need to ask anyone, you can get in the storage. Okay, like this it should be have. And you have to provide at least an email service, notification service, and monitoring service. Okay, and even most important like an auto scaling. You have to provide at least 6 services, then only you call as a cloud service provider.